Have you ever dreamed of taking to the skies? Well, Treasure Valley Community College is making that dream a reality with a unique aviation program spanning 2 airports and 2 states. They have an affordable, easy way for students to gain their wings. And I recently went behind the scenes to find out what it really takes to become a pilot. Tell us about the aviation program at Treasure Valley Community College. Why did you guys decide to bring this opportunity to students?
It started back in 2012 and 2013, and Treasure Valley Community College was approached by Silverhawk Aviation Academy to partner for the helicopter program to provide more opportunities for students to have better funding. So our administrators approved that. In 2013 it launched, and then in 2017 we started working on the fixed wing program over here in Ontario.
What are the benefits of a student becoming a licensed pilot?
I think there's so many opportunities out there for students to be successful in an industry that's just very exciting and interesting, has great benefits, and they can just really make good money.
Aviation. First of all, what excited you about it?
My dad had a plane before I was born, and he always really loved aviation, just kind of imparted that excitement about it onto me. And then I was always kind of interested in a mechanical sort of career, and airplanes seemed like the cool way to go.
Walk us through what that program kind of looks like.
So usually students fly for the first time, maybe even day 1 of classes, so they've barely learned anything and they can get in the plane. Because we teach you everything you need to know, you really don't have to have any sort of prior knowledge.
And what's the benefit of being a pilot in fixed wing opposed to doing like a helicopter?
There's a lot bigger range of jobs. There's like airlines, they have all sorts of things where you would never think it was a job. So it's kind of exciting to get to go job hunting and realize that, oh, I never knew that was a job.
What would you say to somebody watching who would be interested in being a part of the aviation program at Treasure Valley Community College?
It's definitely different than most other things you're ever gonna do. Just try and get in the air at some point, because you might fall in love with it, and most of us that are in here do really love it.
Absolutely. This is definitely a career not only of necessity, but clearly of passion.
Yes, of course.
What do you love about flying?
Just the freedom. You get a view that nobody else gets. In helicopters, we fly low, and so you can see everything. Airplanes, sometimes you get way up high and everything looks like ants.
But it seems to be a little more intimate than with a helicopter.
Yeah.
What are the benefits of knowing how to fly a chopper instead of just being able to fly a plane?
Honestly, you can land anywhere.
Yeah.
So airplanes typically need a long, flat surface to land, like a runway or a nice open field. Helicopters, we can land anywhere.
Okay, which I can imagine here in Idaho, that's a really great skill to have when it comes to ag, when it comes to firefighting, all the other different applications, emergency responders,
Or search and rescue.
Okay, let's talk about the crafts, because we have some really cool helicopters here.
So we start out with our basic helicopter, which is a Robinson R-22 helicopter.
Okay.
It's a 2-person position helicopter. We do a lot of our VFR private training. We do that in there.
Jason, how does one become a flight student? Where do they begin?
Meet with one of our aviation advisors, get enrolled in classes, and then we start the process. Our terms start with private, and then they move on to instrument. And then when they're done with the instrument, they move into their commercial rating. It's an 18-month long program. When you get private, you can go fly you and a friend around. Once you get your commercial license, that's when you can start getting paid, so that's when you can actually get compensated for your time. Otherwise, you're just flying for fun.
So if a student is interested in being a part of the aviation program, do they need to decide if they want to do fixed wing or helicopter, or do they get a chance to kind of figure it out? Explain that process.
Most students come in already knowing what they want to do, but if they don't know, then I usually recommend that they go to Silverhawk and they do a discovery flight in each of those aircraft. Usually that helps them decide on a path.
That's a great idea. A little exposure up front, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Are there any requirements or prerequisites needed for this program?
So there are TSA required documentation that we have to have for somebody to legally fly. We have to have a flight medical certificate so we can ensure they're healthy and able to fly per FAA standards. And then we make sure that they have their funding in place so that they don't have any hiccups on the way and can just continue to fly and be successful.
And I also understand too that you help support veterans as well.
We do. A part of what TVCC does is we work with veterans who have education benefits, and we're able to help them learn to fly using those benefits.
Where can people go to learn more about the aviation program at Treasure Valley Community College?
You can go to our website at tvcc.cc and then just search for aviation, and there's a lot of information on that page.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.